Welcome from Carillon Chamber Choir. My name's Paul Jessop. I'm one of the non-singing volunteers that keep Carillon making music. If you've been to a recent Carillon concert, it may have been me that sold you your ticket at the box office or poured your drink during the interval. The next concert on Saturday, October the 5th, will be at St Saviour's in St Albans. St Saviour's is a venue I really like. The acoustic really suits Carillon's sound, and it's far enough away from the town centre that concerts aren't punctuated by sirens that are such a feature of a night out downtown, straight out of Snorbans, as we say. I'd like to introduce the next concert, and the first element that Carillon will be performing is 3 of Bach's motets. We could have a conversation over a drink at the interval about how many motets Bach actually wrote. The accepted number seems to be 6 or possibly 7, depending on who you believe. But I've always had a very soft spot for them. Partly that's because when I was a treble schoolboy, one of the first things I ever sang was Jesu meine Freude. I was just starting to learn German at the time, and the words of that meant so much more than the Latin, which I didn't understand at all. Well, Carillon on this occasion isn't singing Jesu meine Freude, but Crispin Lewis, the musical director, has chosen 3 of the other motets, and they are Lobet den Herrn alle Heiden, Praise the Lord all ye heathen, Singt dem Herrn ein neues Lied, Sing unto the Lord a new song, and Komm Jesu komm, Come Jesus come. These really are expressive and dense works. There's no respite, there's no recitative to sit back and let the narrative be driven forward. Apparently some of them were written for funerals, and you almost get the impression that Bach was writing music to keep the congregation's attention, so they didn't get weepy about the late lamented. 2 of these motets are written for a divided double choir, and I understand that the choir will be divided along the same lines as the teams for the drinking competition, which will happen in the pub after the concert. If you want to know where that's happening, you'd better turn up with the right money for the box office. That divided choir will also feature in Joseph Rheinberger's Mass for double choir. I didn't know this work at all, but I was lucky enough to hear it in rehearsal the other day, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't want to sound like a teenage schoolgirl, but it's lush. It's audibly German, it's audibly romantic, but somehow it doesn't have that bombastic nature that some German music does. I think it's going to go down very well indeed. The concert will be finishing with another piece by Rheinberger, his Abendlied, Evening Song. I don't know this either, although apparently it's his most popular work, but I do suggest that at the end of the evening the crowd will be spilling onto Sandpit Lane, at least in some cases with a tear in their eye. It's lovely. But that isn't all. We'll also be joined by Nikolai Jinov, who is bringing his Baroque cello, and as well as accompanying some of the choral pieces, he will be playing the first of Bach's unaccompanied cello suites. Now, I've had the use of the word authentic pretty much beaten out of me in favour of historically informed performance, but whatever. This is going to be as close to the sound that Bach heard as you're going to hear any time soon. The first suite is perhaps the most well known, and I think that's because when TV executives are looking for incidental music, they open the box and don't really feel the need to get beyond the first disc, although all 6 of the suites are equally gorgeous. Well, I can't wait for this concert, and I hope you'll join me and the Carillon Chamber Choir at St Saviour's Church, Sandpit Lane in St Albans, on Saturday the 5th of October at 7:30. Now this video is going onto YouTube, so I maybe ought to clarify, this is 2019. If you're watching this video from the future, then I'm afraid you missed the concert, but you do have the benefit of knowing how 2019 actually turned out.